The recent developments in the Russia-Ukraine conflict have taken a significant turn following Donald Trump's communication with Russian President Vladimir Putin, highlighting the complex nature of international diplomacy and the persistent threat of escalating warfare. This interaction has brought to light critical issues regarding diplomatic promises, military actions, and the potential for broader global conflict. During his appearance on Fox News, Trump provided detailed insights into his conversation with Putin, describing a concerning military situation on the ground. According to Trump's assessment, Russian forces had successfully encircled approximately 2,500 Ukrainian soldiers, creating what he characterized as a strategic advantage for Putin. This military positioning, Trump explained, made the prospect of achieving an immediate ceasefire particularly challenging, given the tactical advantage held by Russian forces. The former president raised serious concerns about the potential for World War III if the United States were to become directly involved in the conflict. His statement, "Look, we're doing this. There are no Americans involved. There could be if you end up in World War III over this, which is so ridiculous," emphasized the delicate balance between diplomatic intervention and the risk of escalating the conflict to a global scale. This warning underscored the complex calculations involved in international intervention and the potential consequences of direct U.S. military involvement. The conversation between Trump and Putin, which was initially announced on Trump's Truth Social platform, was described as both good and productive, lasting several hours. Trump claimed they had reached an understanding about working toward a complete ceasefire and ultimately ending what he termed a very horrible war between Russia and Ukraine. The former president expressed optimism about both Putin and Zelensky's desire to end the conflict, stating that the process is now in full force and effect and that both leaders were committed to hopefully, for the sake of humanity, get the job done. However, the aftermath of this diplomatic exchange revealed a stark contradiction between diplomatic promises and military actions. Despite Trump's assertion that Putin had agreed to an immediate ceasefire on energy and infrastructure, Russia launched a massive attack on Ukrainian infrastructure and civilian targets mere hours after the call. This dramatic turn of events raised serious questions about the sincerity of diplomatic negotiations and the practical challenges of achieving peace in the region. The Russian assault was particularly devastating in its scope and targets. 2 hospitals in the Sumy region suffered significant damage, while residential areas in Kyiv came under attack. The offensive extended to multiple major regions across Ukraine, including Poltava, Chernihiv, Odessa, and Dnipropetrovsk, demonstrating the widespread nature of Russian military operations and their impact on civilian infrastructure. The scale of the military engagement was substantial, with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy reporting that Russia had launched over 40 drones following the call. The conflict intensified, with Ukrainian forces claiming to have successfully intercepted 72 out of 145 Russian drones, while Russia countered with claims of destroying more than 57 Ukrainian drones. These numbers highlight the significant military capabilities being deployed by both sides and the intensity of the ongoing conflict. Zelensky's response to these events was both direct and critical. In a message posted on Telegram, he stated, "Today, Putin de facto rejected the proposal for a complete ceasefire. It would be right for the world to reject in response any attempts by Putin to drag out the war." This statement reflected the Ukrainian leadership's frustration with what they perceived as Russia's duplicitous approach to peace negotiations and highlighted the growing skepticism about diplomatic solutions. The situation was further emphasized by Andriy Yermak, Zelensky's chief of staff, who provided real-time updates on the Russian aggression, stating, "Russia is attacking civilian infrastructure and people right now." This immediate response underscored the disconnect between diplomatic discussions and the reality of continued military operations on the ground. The sequence of events raises fundamental questions about the effectiveness of diplomatic efforts and the true intentions of the parties involved. The contrast between Trump's optimistic portrayal of his conversation with Putin and the subsequent Russian military actions highlights the significant challenges in achieving a peaceful resolution to the conflict. This disconnect between diplomatic rhetoric and military reality serves as a sobering reminder of the complexities involved in international conflict resolution. The situation also exemplifies the broader challenges facing the international community in its efforts to broker peace in the region. The targeting of civilian infrastructure, including hospitals and residential areas, raises serious humanitarian concerns and complicates the path to meaningful negotiations. The continued military actions following diplomatic exchanges suggest a significant gap between stated intentions and actual military strategy. The events surrounding this diplomatic initiative and its immediate aftermath serve as a crucial case study in the challenges of modern international conflict resolution. The potential for escalation to a broader global conflict, as highlighted by Trump's warning about World War III, adds another layer of complexity to the international community's efforts to find a peaceful resolution to the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. This development underscores the delicate balance between diplomatic engagement and the risk of broader military confrontation, highlighting the high stakes involved in any intervention in the conflict.